Welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast.
Greetings and salutations, everyone, and welcome to the Real Film Nerds Podcast, episode number 409, Companion. My name is Matt, one of three hosts. I don't know. I guess we're all hosts. I guess we're not one of three people that is talking this week. Not four. We downgraded. Monago Meg said she couldn't handle the shenanigans, so she's out. But with me is Ma Hinshaw and the one, the only, mysterious Michael Talent. Hello, peeps.
Hi.
Hey, everybody.
So, Mike, why did Ma Hinshaw scare off Megs?
Well, I don't think it was her that scared off. I think it was the movie, Companion. It's more on the scary kind of side, so at least the trailer made it look a little bit scary. So she was out. She like she said last week, she doesn't really dig getting scared and watching movies that can give her bad dreams.
Well, all right then. But what about me, Mike? I mean, I need a companion, and this sounds like a wonderful option for me, and Megs doesn't want to help me out?
No.
Well, that's just rude.
Yeah, I guess so. No, she just doesn't like these like kind of horror scary. This one was kind of marketed as a horror, and I don't know. I guess I can talk about it a little bit. I don't know. I wouldn't really call this a horror. I feel like it was more of a psychological thriller.
If it's not in the trailer, yeah, you don't talk about it. But yes, it's a thriller. I wouldn't call it a horror movie. It's AI. It's technology. It's like an episode of Black Mirror, is what I keep telling people. So.
Very much so. It is an episode of Black Mirror.
Mom, are you going to say anything, or are you just going to sit there?
What's Black Mirror?
There you go. That works.
That works.
It's a TV show on Netflix that started on the BBC, I believe, and then Netflix kind of morphed it and started taking it over and doing their own thing with it.
Yeah, I think they bought it. I think they bought the rights because I think BBC wasn't going to renew it or keep going with it, and Netflix is like, oh, hey, we'll pick that up.
Yeah, and that's when they started bringing in the American actors, and I think they still based it in Great Britain, though, most of the filming and things, but they started morphing in well-known American actors. So
that sounds interesting. But then this movie was interesting to me, so.
Well, okay, before we get into that mess, I need to give away some things.
All right, dude. That sounds like fun, dude. What are you giving away?
So we promoted this already last week. It just wasn't on the podcast because I got this promo the day after the podcast came out. But Mike, this is right up your alley with what you like to do for fun, or what you used to like to do for fun, because we now know that you have no life because you have children. So
ouch. A little bit true. Ouch.
Well, look at my mom. She has no life, and she has what, 3 children and then 3 grandchildren. And right. Mom, what do you do all day?
Cook and clean and help kids get out of disasters, and that's about it.
Drink margaritas and eat bonbons at 83 years old almost.
Oh, really? Dang, I've got to get some bonbons. Okay.
But anyway, so this week we are giving away a selection of items from past projects in our prize room, including shirts, posters, and exclusive merchandise. So I'm getting a package this week from our Paramount Picture reps, I guess you would say. And I have no idea what's going to be in it, but it's coming tomorrow. And so whatever I get is what I'm going to be giving away. But anyways, the film we're talking about is a documentary. I remember watching this on 60 Minutes when the guy did this attempt, but it's called Free Diver. Mike, how much do you know about free diving?
Basically, it's you go down just on your own breath and try and get down as far as you can, and you use like big fins and different things and like breathing techniques. I really like scuba diving and things, but I like to just kind of hang out. And this is more not like hanging out, and it's like basically a race to see how long you can go down and hold your breath, and all these interesting things um, happen when you get down that deep, and like it's dark, and I don't know, man. It was fascinating. I think I saw the same thing on 60 Minutes.
So, Mike, have you ever done free diving?
No, it doesn't really interest me. I'm not gonna lie. It just seems like it's a lot of work, and I don't feel like it would be that much fun because it's like you kind of have to come back up, like you're coming up and down, And I don't know if I could hold my breath for, I don't know, 4 minutes or whatever the people are doing. It's really long.
No, that's crazy. I couldn't do that.
Yeah, so it doesn't interest me. Plus, like if you get down to where it's dark and you can't really see, it's like, well, what's the fun in that, right? Like you want to go diving to see stuff, or at least I do.
Yeah, but it's just a different. I think it's just a different thing. It's not so much like, diving to see stuff. I think it's more just how far can I go and hold my breath and, facing your fears and the challenge, and that's what I think it is.
All right, you're probably right about that, but I know that a lot of people do free diving and they do it to like do spearfishing and different things because they're without a tank and all that extra gear, it's a lot easier to move around and maneuver and stuff, and so they'll just go and they'll get some lobster or whatever, so they're only going down like 60, 70 feet, and or maybe even less than that, and they're just down for 90 to 120 seconds because they'll just like spear something or whatever and then bring it back up to the boat, and they kind of do that over and over. So I think that's what a lot of people do with they free dive, but like this competitive free diving stuff is like on a whole different level.
60 or 70 feet, that's still way too much for me. I'm good with a pool.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Obviously they're using the like these longer fins and stuff so they can get better propulsion with less energy and all this stuff because you're trying not to burn all that oxygen that you take in before when you're going around down there. So anyway, it's neat. It's just it's not my thing.
Okay, so Mike, um, what should our listeners email you to be entered into our drawing to get some swag from Paramount?
Oh, I'll just do some random diving thing. What's the first color to get stripped out when you're going down in the water?
Okay.
Yeah.
So email Mike at realfilmnerds.com with your answers to be entered into our drawing to get some free swag. So there you go. Pretty awesome to me. But anyways, let me see. I got to do the business here, and hopefully I pronounce his name right. I looked it up a few different times, but we'll see how this goes. Free Diver is new today on digital. In this heart-pounding new documentary, world champion freediver Alexei Molchanov embarks on a daring quest to break 5 world records in a single year. On a single breath, he dives into the ocean's crushing depths, where the smallest mistake could mean death. Witness the ultimate battle of endurance in one of the world's most dangerous sports. You can buy or rent Free Diver now. It is rated PG. And again, it's from our friends at Paramount Pictures.
All right. Good job, Matt. Good job.
All right. So on with our review of Companion. Mike, why don't you go and break it down?
Okay, Matt. No problem. So this was directed and written by Drew Hancock. It's starring Sophie Thatcher, Jack Quaid, Lukas Gage, and Megan Surrey. And a billionaire's death sets off a chain of events for Iris and her friends during a weekend trip to his lake house estate.
Okay, so I think we're going to have a very difficult time talking about this film without spoiling it because in the trailers, They really didn't reveal a whole lot. They give you a little bit of a hint, but a smidgen. So let's just go ahead and throw it straight to Mom, and let's see how well she does without spoiling it. And my money says she does, and we'll have to immediately cut away and do our segments and then spoil it even more. So, Ma Hinshaw,
I'm here, but this is tough.
what did you think about the film Companion? Ready, set, go.
I really enjoyed it. I thought it was really great. And it's definitely intriguing. And there's just something happening every so often that you don't think is going to happen. And I thought it was going to be just scary, but it was not just scary. It was very interesting. And I thought Sophie talked about emotions quite a great deal, which I thought was very interesting for a lot of ladies. And I don't want to give away much, so I don't know. I guess I shouldn't say much. But it really builds, and one surprise after another surprise, and oh, I can't believe that. Oh, I didn't know that. And, and the actors were really good. I really thought Jack was so good because he could be one way as a person, and then all of a sudden he was another way as the same person. And Sophie was just great in her role, which I will not say. But anyway, that's my view.
Okay, so I think you did it successfully, but you could have done more, Ma. You could have done more. I'm very disappointed in you.
Well, then you do more, because I don't want to give away any of this stuff.
Yeah, Matt, you do more.
So no. Let's see what
I don't
Mike
want to
does.
screw it up.
Let's see what Mike does. Come on, Mike. What do you think of Companion?
I enjoyed it. I think the trailer was brilliant in that it didn't really reveal too much going on, but it teased it enough where you're like, hey, I want to go see that movie. I went and saw it and wasn't really expecting what I got, but it was still okay. I thought it was going to be much more of a horror movie, like we kind of talked about a little earlier, but it was actually more of a psychological or kind of a thriller. So that was interesting. I don't want to spoil it. It was good to see I didn't even name him in the thing. I should have named him. The guy who plays Guillermo. Where was he?
Harvey Guillén. Come on, dude. He's one of the top.
Yeah,
well, I guess
I
not
know.
anymore. They bumped him down a little bit, I guess. But yeah, Harvey Guillén.
Oh, yeah. Oh, he has a terrible picture on IMDb. Anyway, it was cool to see him in it. I enjoyed that he was in that. And then, Jack Quaid from The Boys. It was good to see him in a kind of a little bit of a different role, I would say, than what he is in The Boys. So I guess that's about it, man. Why don't you talk about things without talking about it?
Okay, I got it. Watch. This will blow both your minds. But my mom has a crush on Jack Quaid, and she's never seen The Boys either. And I'm like, Ma, you need to watch The Boys. But I don't know if she can handle it. She is an 83-year-old woman.
Hey, I can handle it. Maybe.
There's lots of blood, guts, and gore and nudity.
Oh, go for it. Yay.
Okay, you heard it here. Ma Hinshaw. She loves them blood, guts, and gore and nudity. She loves it. But anyways, okay, all right. Here we go. My synopsis, my description for Companion, my opinion. I love this movie. Companion was an incredible film. It has everything. It has love. It has mystery. It has danger. It has horror. It has no nudity, though, which is a very, very big letdown. but it has basically everything else. The cinematography I thought was pretty good. Could have been a tiny little bit better maybe in some spots, but overall it was very, very good. The acting was fantastic, especially from Sophie Thatcher, who plays our main character, Iris. Well, one of our 5-6 main characters, I guess you would say, because there's not a whole lot more than
there's
that
about
in the entire
six.
film.
Yeah, I think there's about 6 people.
Yeah. And I don't know Sophie Thatcher's work from before this really much. I've seen her, but I don't know her as well. And she, in my opinion, was fantastic. Jack Quaid, he's always done a good job. But yes, Mike, I will echo what you said, where he seems like this is not a role he typically would do. It's definitely not a role that he did in The Boys. It's quite a bit different. It's out of his wheelhouse, but I think he excelled at it. Harvey Guillén, I love Harvey Guillén. He is hilarious. He's fun. He's goofy. He's a little silly. He was serious at times. I think he did a great job. The cat character played by Megan Surrey, not a huge fan, but I believe that's what the character is supposed to be, is you kind of hate that person. And she, I think, did a very successful job at me not liking her and me wanting to kind of hate her. But overall, I think this is a very successful film, and I think I can't spoil too much of it telling the story, but it is a not miss for me. You need to go check it out in the theaters. Boom. How was that?
Not bad, dude. Not bad. All right. So now I need to ask you, though, what are you drinking, Matt, this fine morning, evening, afternoon?
Oh, Mike's most important question of the podcast. Mike, I am not drinking anything super fancy. I'm just drinking myself a little canned Michelob Ultra. Watching them carbs.
All right. Ma Hinshaw, what are you drinking?
Well, it's not an alcoholic beverage. I limited myself to 1 margarita today, but it's a hibiscus tea that really didn't taste like flowers. It was actually pretty good.
Is
All
tea
right.
supposed to taste like flowers?
No.
Okay, good. I was gonna say I've been getting the wrong tea then.
Oh dear.
Maybe not.
Mike, are you drinking an IPA? Are you back in your IPA world?
Yeah, I'm drinking an IPA, Matt. I'm drinking one. This is fun title. It's called Florida Man, and it is a double IPA from Cigar City, the people that make the High Lie.
Oh, all right. So, have you watched the Florida Man show on HBO Max yet?
No, I gotta do that.
I've watched a couple episodes.
Was
but
it
they're kind of documentary-ish style stuff?
Docudramas or whatever?
Kind of. So they're true life stories told by the people that did said stories, and then it's acted out by famous actors. So it's kind of like Drunk History, but not.
Okay. No, I haven't had a chance to watch it, but I want to, because it's like there's so many interesting stories. It's like, what are they going to cover? Like, really, what are you going to do?
Oh my God, it's horrifying. Yeah, I've only watched a couple, and they were, woo! Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, at least they're going with some good ones.
So, all right. Well, on to Ma Hinshaw's favorite segment of the podcast. One of these days, Ma will say it without me cueing her. But Mom, why don't you, do your favorite part of the podcast?
Mike, what is your dad joke of the day?
I got dad jokes. I don't think they understand, though. Gotta think I'm funny. Other people never laugh, though. Dad jokes.
All right. Did you hear the song about the tortilla?
Let me guess. It was salsa?
Actually, it was more of a rap.
Oh.
Wow. That's bad.
Is that the book, man?
Oh
It's out of the book. I see the book. Woo!
Oh.
The book has come back. All right. I missed the book. I'm glad my Christmas gifts are getting put to use. Yeah. All right, I think this might be a difficult one because I couldn't find anything off the top of my head, at least watching the film. But Mike, how does Companion relate to the Marvel Cinematic Universe?
This one was pretty rough. There's like we said, there's not a lot of people in this movie, and none of the people that were in it I could find in MCU. So I had to dig deep, and in the art department, Melissa Nikki Reed also worked on The Punisher, the newer Punisher,
The TV show?
yeah, the TV
Yeah.
show. She was a set decorator. So still Marvel.
It's MCU. They do count it as MCU, and they keep going back and forth if they're going to do a continuation of Punisher or not. Now that they're officially MCU, because they are on Disney Plus. Those of you who do not know that the Netflix show was moved or reacquired or purchased, I don't know, and brought back to Disney Plus. Or brought to Disney Plus. There we go.
Yeah, I don't know. There might have been some terms in the deal, and like Disney might have executed that or something. I'm not sure. Who knows?
Well, all right. Well, we have something that we've never had before here at the Real Film Nerds podcast. We have a legitimate ad. Now, this is a fundraiser that was sent over to me by a guy I know and hang out with him and have seen multiple times at Comic-Cons. He is a horror novelist here in Arizona. He's, I believe, down in Phoenix. His name is James Savada, and they are raising money for this big event they have going on. What is it? In March in Williamsburg, Virginia. And so we're going to take a little bit of a break, let this play, and we will be right back with our spoiler section for Companion.
The Spirited Giving fundraiser returns on Thursday, March 27th as part of AuthorCon 5 in Williamsburg, Virginia, featuring author readings from Jamie Flanagan, Brian Keene, D.M. Gay, and Rebecca Cuthbert, as well as a live performance of the epic podcast series, The Midnight Pals. All proceeds go directly to Scares That Care, a 501c3 nonprofit that has raised and donated over $300,000 to burn victims, women fighting breast cancer, and families with a child affected by illness. Check out spirited-giving.com for more information. Spirited Giving. It's gonna be one hell of a night.
All righty. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed our first official ad ever on the Real Film Nerds podcast. So that's pretty nice. Mike, Ma,
Yay.
yeah,
Mhm.
you guys are all about it, right? Okay. So finally, the part that we can discuss, we can spoil the hell out of this. So if you don't want this movie ruined, you probably should turn off the podcast now, because we're going to just let loose, because it's really difficult not to talk about this movie, as you've seen already, without spoiling it. So I let Ma go first last time. Mr. Talent, ready, set, go.
All right, Matt. So the interesting thing for this movie was I didn't realize there was going to be robots, like or companion bots. What did they
Just
call
say
them?
what it is, Mike. They're fuck bots, all right?
Yeah. Sex bots, I
Hey,
guess.
that's what they call them. They call them fuck bots in the movie. Come on. Stop being PC. I know you're embarrassed around my mother. My mom is as dirty and foul as you and I are, and you know it.
Well, anyway, moving on to the next. Yeah. So that was interesting. That they were. There was multiple, and then there was like you could like turn up their like settings and stuff kind of in real time, and all that stuff makes sense, but it was interesting to see. But it was also interesting to see of like how like bonded they were with their, I guess, their hosts, or I don't even know what you would call them. What companion? I guess their partner.
Yes. Partner, lover, abuser.
Yeah. that was real interesting to see kind of how that stuff went. And then, like, I don't want to get in, I won't get into kind of what ends up spiraling out of control, but like, it was very interesting to just see a different take on like AI and stuff and like how people would be the problem. And that really does boil down to like technology and things. I think it's always going to be the people that are causing the problems, right? Like they're going to hack the thing, or they're going to, it's always going to be that. It's not going to be the robots, rising. It's going to be whatever the people want. So I don't know. It was an interesting take on kind of where everything's heading, man. Like the robots are coming like real quick. We're going to have robots. Can't wait for my robot to do my laundry, man. Like, what was it on the Jetsons? What was the like maid robot?
Rosie,
yeah. Dude, we're all getting some Rosies.
I can't remember what I ate for breakfast, but I remember who the robot was on the Jetsons. I blame that on my genes from mom.
That's it.
Okay, so before you get my reaction and Ma's reaction, and we start getting a little bit deeper into the AI discussion, because that's going to happen, because, Mike and I are big nerds. Ma's just here for the ride, but, maybe we'll blow her mind a little bit. We'll see. I have yet another giveaway. 2 in one podcast, Mike. Can you believe it?
No, man, we got our first ad and 2 giveaways.
It's a hell of a week.
Are we going big time? Did you not tell me? Did we make it?
Yes, we did. We made it, Mike. You can retire. You don't have to work anymore. Now, you probably will have to figure out another way to make money, though. Maybe your OnlyFans will hit too. I don't know. Just putting it out there.
I don't know if that many things can happen at once, but I'll start charging more.
I mean, if you want to check it out, it's Mike Talent, Dad Bods, Dad Jokes is the OnlyFans account. Watch, there's a real one of those out there probably.
No, disclaimer, there is no OnlyFans, but that was funny.
Hey, don't lie. Ma Hinshaw's a big subscriber. Ma, you like your OnlyFans.
Oh, I do. Love them.
Yeah, I knew it. So anyways, all right. So here we have a film that I don't even know if it's hit the movie theaters yet, but we're giving it away because it is available online, digital right now. And if you want to be entered into a drawing for this one, I'm going to come up with this one. You need to email Mike at realfilmnerds.com, and you need to tell us what your local newspaper is or used to be. And then we'll enter you into this contest.
Ouch. Used to be.
Well, dudes, they're shutting down left and right. So we still have ours here. I don't know how, but we still have the Courier that I was a slave to for a decade. But anyways, this week not this week. I mean, we already had one giveaway. Our second giveaway of the podcast, we're giving away codes for the film September 5th, which has already been nominated for an Academy Award.
Wow.
Which one? Which award, dude? I feel like we were supposed to say something there, and you were waiting for a long
I was waiting
time.
for you guys to say something.
Well, what award, Matt?
Well, they were nominated for Best Original Screenplay. And so we'll see if they win here in March. But anyway, so this movie is based on the 1972 Olympics hostage crisis, where terrorists took a bunch of Israeli Olympians hostage in the Olympic Village. Now, Michael's pointing out when we're off the air about how Steven Spielberg did a movie about this already in 2005. Correct. He did not do a movie about the journalists that were thrown into this, who were sports journalists, who were not hardcore news people. And they were the ones that were the closest, and they were the ones that were getting it right off the bat. And this is their trials and tribulations and what they went through trying to tell this story, especially one of the big topics, it's from the trailer, so I can say it. But one of the big topics from the trailer is what if they killed someone on live national television? And so that's one of the topics they discussed in the film, which being a former journalist is legit. Granted, I never did live TV, thank God, but we had things that we could and could not show for sure, you know. But anyways, so if you would like to be entered into a drawing to get a copy of this film, again, I don't even think it's in theaters yet, but you can get it here, the Real Film Nerds podcast. Email Mike the name of your former newspaper or current newspaper in your hometown, and we'll send you one of these codes, or we'll put you in the drawing to give you one of these codes. So anyways, September 5th is the film. Here we go. Academy Award nominee for Best Original Screenplay, September 5th, is now on digital. Based on true events at the 1972 Olympics and the hostage crisis that changed media coverage forever. Starring Peter Sarsgaard, John Magaro, Ben Chaplin, and Leonie Bench. Buy or rent September 5th on Fandango at home now. It is rated R from our good friends over at Paramount Pictures. So I'm excited to see this one. I thought we were going to get it in the theaters. We might, if we do, maybe we'll review it. Maybe not. I don't know. We got a lot of catching up to do on the Academy Awards. So, all right, let's get back to our spoiler section of Companion. We already heard Mike about his AI and how he wishes he had one of these companion bots to do his laundry. I believe you have one of those. It's called a Maniacal Max.
Oh, man. No.
I hope she's not listening to this one.
Wow. All right. I guess, Matt, why don't you tell us about the AI stuff? What do you think about it in this movie?
Dude, I want someone that'll cook me dinner every night. That's amazing. Like, I don't even care if they cook, if they clean, or if they do the lot, if they just cook me dinner every night. Sold. You know, I'm looking forward to my future, you know, sex bot. I have no problems with it. We don't even have to have sex. I've given up on dating and life and relationships and all that stuff. If they cook me dinner, perfect. Done. I want one.
Excellent, Matt. I think you'll be able to purchase one in about 5 years.
5 years. Is she going to be as pretty as Sophie in this film? Because she was,
well,
like,
I'm not.
Her skin was like so like white. I don't know if that's how she normally looks. I mean, it was like a porcelain doll. Like, her skin was like almost clear.
Yeah, no, Matt, I don't think she'll look quite like that. But what I do think is they'll sell you some upgrades later.
ScarJo upgrade? I'm down. I get tired of ScarJo. Yeah. Natalie Portman upgrade. As long as I don't have to buy like a different bot every single time, and I just pay like half as much for an upgrade, sold. I
think they'll have interchangeable heads and various things and like lookalikes
lady parts
stuff.
Mike, I know what you're going to. Ma, can you believe this? The son you wish you had is talking about lady parts.
I think I'm shocked.
Terrible. Shame. But
Shame. Nice.
But no, I'm all for it. I mean, you know, I've given up on real women, so I will be the first in line at the sex bot store. Like, you know how they used to have the lines for the iPhone releases? I'll be the first in line in New York at the sex bot store. I'll have my face on TV. I'll have them interview me. It's fine.
Gotcha. You'll be out there waiting for your Optimus ScarJo edition.
Mm-hmm. Yep, I'll pay for the upgrades. I'm good with it. You know, the reason why mom's not talking much is because she is just embarrassed. She's like, why am I on this show? What the hell have I gotten into?
No.
I did not know this is where this was going. I'm embarrassed of my son, and he's the most successful out of the three children. This is terrible.
I know. And I remember when they had blow up dolls, that were life size, etc.
They're still around.
But they
haven't gone nowhere.
But they would get punctures and they'd collapse and fall apart. But What if you're
You know what you and Dad were doing for fun, Mom, is a little too much.
no. I'm talking about you. But anyway, what if your sex bot companion person gets a short somewhere?
And you're
Oh,
talking
yeah,
it
that-
electrocute you through your
very
wiener?
dangerous. I mean, it could be really dangerous. You know, you have to wait for a while until they, get really perfect ones or something. Because I don't trust any electronic items. Something always goes wrong, like a motherboard or a this or that.
Well, you think it would be like the Big Bang Theory? You know, that one episode with the hand, and they were afraid to restart the computer because it was locked on his junk. And he went to the emergency room.
Right.
So you think it'll be something like that, and there'll just be people
I think
lined
it
up?
will be, and I don't like to think about where it might be either shocking or locked onto. Sorry. Oops.
Yeah.
It's all right, folks.
It'll be interesting, Matt. It'll be interesting times. I
Right.
mean, soon we might have cars that are. I mean, I guess we kind of have cars that drive themselves. I mean, they do, but they're not. I don't know. It's
See,
not
there's my
everywhere.
point. They're not great either, because sometimes they run over people, like it did in Tempe.
That's
I
only
for
once.
I for one welcome our sexbot robot overlords.
Okay.
But anyways, okay. So, Mom, are you going to talk about your spoiler parts? I mean, Mike had some interesting discussions, and I just blew that out of the water, talking about what we would do with the sex bot. Mike has a very, very good point and very valid point that the AI, the robots, whatever you want to call it in this film, were a clean slate. We're doing exactly what they should have done. It was the human tampering with it and trying to hack it and be smarter than the system and try and cause it to be a murder machine that caused all the problems. And it went, lack of a better word, rogue, and took out a lot more people than what they intended to. And then, one thing I found interesting, Mike, and let's see if you and Ma feel the same way about this. So it's an AI and it's a sex bot. We've discussed that. But I felt bad for the AI and sex bot. I felt like the main character who was causing all the problems was the bad guy, and the evil dark robot that's murdering everyone didn't have a choice in the matter, and I felt bad for her.
Oh, yeah.
I agree. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, for
I
sure.
agree. And
I
I
feel bad
think
for the robot.
she started having, I think, human feelings or wanting to have human feelings. I don't know if something like that. And I think her owner really kind of messed her up. And I'm not going to really, really spoil it, but I was very happy with the ending. Okay.
Yeah, I enjoyed when she turned up her intelligence to 100. I was like, oh, this is kind of like, it reminded me a little bit of Lucy, the movie with ScarJo, where all of a sudden, like, if we use 100% of our brain, it's like, uh-oh, like, we're just like almost have superpowers. And I thought that was interesting. So I thought that was neat. And of course, they would have settings like that, so that makes a lot of sense.
Well, I just like that, again, we can't get away from the smartphones, and they're controlling our sex bots with smartphones. So, I mean, that's easily hackable, clearly.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Yep.
Are all the sex bots going to be females, or are there going to be male sex bots? I wonder.
Well, Ma, you watched
the one
the
was
movie.
A male. One was a male.
Oh, he was a male, wasn't he? Yes.
Yeah,
What's his
yeah.
name? Peter or something? Yeah. Oh, that's right. Oh, well.
Yeah. Patrick
Licked
was his
my
character's
brain.
name. Yep.
Right. Played by Lukas Gage.
Yeah,
Right.
he was great. He was great as like his robot. I don't know. Both robots did a really good job of being
They
robots.
did a really good job. Really did. Yes.
Which, you know, that's cool. Yeah, and then seeing our humans, you know, misbehaving, like Jack Quaid's character Josh, he just seemed like a real kind of like bad, like not a nice person, really. Like, just, I don't know, shallow, and it was just interesting. It was interesting to see that, like, kind of what you would think, and then how it was so much different, and yeah.
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 I thought that
he
was
the
really
villain.
good. Yes. And boy, he turned. Like,
Yeah.
you know, at first he's so nice to her, and, you know, and then he turns and he changes, and that's a really cool part, and he did a very good job of that. Mm-hmm.
I even liked the conversation. It was very quick, but Kat and Iris had a conversation on the couch or whatever during like I think when they first kind of got there, and
Before
I think
you knew she was a sex bot. Yeah.
yeah, before you really knew she was a robot or anything, and well, I think you just thought she was off, like not liked or whatever, because how it starts, but that was real interesting because she was talking about all kinds of real life things with the robot. And then it's like, once she realized that she was doing that, she was like, oh, and then like got mad at herself because she seemed like she was trying to hold the standard of like, I don't treat the robots the same, but she was talking about all this relationship stuff, like her and the guy Sergey, and like how it wasn't very good and it was just not a great relation. It was interesting. I thought all that stuff was interesting because it was very real. Like it was like what people would talk about. I don't know. So,
Well, and I think that was intentional because you didn't know what was going on at that point, that it was an AI and it was, you know, this bot that they hired and all this other stuff. So they were really just leaning pretty hard into the misdirection at first. And it only lasted 20 minutes of the film, and then it's on from then on.
yeah.
Well, and then the other one that they were very misleading about was Sergey, who owned the house, how they were like making it seem like he was a bad guy and he was, you know, like Russian mafia and all this terrible stuff, and he deserves it on all this crap. And then you find out that no, he's just a normal dude that's cheating on his wife, which is terrible, but it's not as horrific as being, you know, a mafioso.
Right. That is true. Yep. And the interesting thing about all of that was, like, in the description I just read, it said he was a billionaire. Never did it talk about that he was a billionaire. I didn't think. It just said he was rich. So
Yeah. I don't think they put a number per se, but he's just, you could tell he's extremely wealthy because he said he bought not only the lake house, but all the land surrounding the lake. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, and that's the way that you can get it so no one builds. That's the only way.
This is the way.
Yes. But yeah, man, I like this movie. It was a lot on the actors, just a lot of in like close shots on the actors, and they really carried the movie, I think. So, like, I thought that was great. It's kind of a, what do you call, Matt? A play, one room, or a?
Yeah, it's a one act play, but this had a lot more than one act. So yeah.
Yeah, but like it's mostly just set in one little like house.
Yeah, it's one
or
location.
Whatever. Yeah, one. I mean, there are a little bit of outside stuff, but you know, yeah.
I just thought it held your interest. No snores. You were always wondering, well, what's going to happen now, you know? And I like that about that, because, you know, makes you want to keep watching it without falling asleep.
Another thing that added a little bit of depth was when the recall people came for the robot, and they picked her up or whatever, and they're interviewing Josh, Jack Quaid's character, and they ask him some questions, and he comes up with some stuff, and then when they're like leaving, they're like, oh, did the robot malfunction? Oh, nope, that guy did it. Like,
Yeah, they're like, no, he modded the shit out of that robot. Yeah.
Yeah, dude, it was really funny. He's all, yeah, they all do. They're all guilty. He's all like, and then, more stuff happens. But anyway,
Then murdering. Yes.
Yeah.
So, Ma, what else would you like to add about Companion before we give our reels and cookies?
Oh, I just loved how it ends up, and how the very last scene, I thought that was really cool, and you'll have to go see the movie to see the last scenes, and I thought it was great. There.
Okay, so then, Ma, how many artificial intelligence cookies do you give Companion?
Oh boy, a lot of cookies. I gave it 5.
Perfect score. Perfect score.
Mhm,
Perfect
mhm.
skull. Whatever. I can't speak. I don't know what is wrong with me today. I guess because I've been talking too much today. But yeah,
Too
perfect score
tired.
for Ma Hinshaw. Mr. Talent, how many reels?
So I'm going to give this one 4 out of 5 reels. I enjoyed it quite a bit. One thing I will note is I recommend seeing it in the theater because it was interesting and different. But I will note that it's not really a horror movie if you think it is going to be. And so if you want a horror movie, I wouldn't really say this is a horror movie. But other than that, I thought it was great. Great trailer. It really did tease it, and I wanted to see more, and it was just a lot different than I thought it was going to be. So that's it.
Is that what affected your rating, Mike? Is that it was not a horror movie?
I kind of wanted it to be a horror movie, but I didn't really know what was going on. When you have that opening scene with the fire, you're like, what is going on?
Opening scene with the fire.
Like in the trailer, it just had her
in the trailer. Yes.
Yeah, in the
Gotcha.
trailer, it just had her like focused on the and you're like, what is this?
Sure.
And it had kind of just like a teaser of the stars' names, and then it would cut to a couple things. Yeah, so it was like, whoa.
Sure. Okay. Well, Mike, you're wrong. This is the best movie of 2025 so far. I give it 5 reels. I thought this movie was fantastic. It is a not miss. Everyone's got to go see it. It was fantastic. Even if you didn't get into your theater, rent it, whatever. I don't give a shit. Watch this movie. This movie is great.
Wow, strong words, Matt. Strong.
Okay, so speaking about strong words, Ma Hinshaw has already watched our film for next week. So, Ma, next week we're watching Anora. Why don't you tell our listeners what that film is about without spoiling it, which I'm sure you can't do.
There's no way I can not spoil it. So I'm not gonna. I just say watch it, folks.
Okay. So Anora is our film for next week. We're going to start trying to play catch up on our Best Picture nominees. Anora is nominated for Best Picture. We have it on streaming. I do believe it's already out on streaming services, but I think you have to pay for it or rent it or something like that. So we're going to do that. But we're not going to the theaters, which is fine by me. I would like to do some catching up on these Best Picture nominees that I missed. So, Mike, what do you think? Anora, is it going to be good?
It'll either be good or it'll be very artsy.
Okay. All right.
Because a lot of artsy movies get nominated for Best Picture, and sometimes you're like, what in the hell was that?
That is true. Very, very true. So I don't think Anora is going to be artsy. I think it'll be good, but I don't know. Ma Hinshaw said there was plenty of nudity in it, and her and my dad learned some new things, but they're too old to try it out. I said, there's a thing called ibuprofen.
Yep.
All right.
Wow,
Oh,
Mike just
dear.
threw up.
Yes, I'm sure he did.
So, all right. Well, I don't have anything else. I think this is a pretty successful pod. We got a lot going on in it this week, so that's good. Make sure and hit up our giveaways, contests, whatever you want to call them. But that's it for me, listening world. Ma, what about you? Anything for our listeners? Any words of wisdom?
Well, on the Anora movie, it's rated.
Oh, now you want to talk about it? Jeez.
Well, I'm just going to say it's rated like R. So, you know,
Is that 3
no
Rs?
siblings in the home or around near whatever to watch it, in my view. There you go.
In your view, or in your true, honest opinion, there's too much nudity for young prying eyes.
Actually, well, I can't even talk about it, but just that's not good for kids. Okay.
It's rated R.
All right.
Yeah, I would hope
All right.
not.
Not
really
good for kids. All right. Put the kids to bed.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah, I think mom's dropping hints at you, Mike, is what she's doing. She's like, Mike,
Yeah.
you need to put the babies away. They're not allowed to watch this movie on how they're made.
No. They do not need to watch that. They're
All
too
right.
young. Okay.
All right, Mike, well, do your thing, dude.
All right. Well, thanks for listening, everybody. We did cover a lot. So make sure to catch us on next week's pod and follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook. And yeah, thanks for listening, everybody.
Bye.
Thank you for listening to The Real Film Nerds. Now, don't forget to follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram at Real Film Nerds. Now, go out and catch a movie.